Hey folks, it's Dustin Garman here, aka TAG GPS. I never know which one I am, but welcome to the 19th episode of Tell Us About Yourself. And of course, I've got my co-host here, my buddy Jeffrey Fox.
Hey man, yeah, 19's a good number. That's a like a legal number there.
I remember when I was 19, not so long ago.
I don't. I
But
drank enough to
anyway,
forget.
I just our special guest today is Void. He wants to be called Void, but is Brett Ferris gonna show up though? That's
I,
the question.
you know, I am really tired of this because Brett wears glasses. He has long, like, girlish hair. Do I look like that? Do I wear glasses? Do I have long, girlish hair? No. So this whole confusion that, oh, Void's Brett, Brett's Void, it needs to stop. Literally.
All right, we have the Void then. Before we start off today, I was going to announce that I'm going to talk later about the event that we're having Sunday, but in a group that of bikers, it's a biker group down here that I'm in. One of our riders, his son is 6 years old. We call him Stunt Rider. That's his road name. You know, we all have road names. He was diagnosed with leukemia this week. He's just 6 years old, and we're hoping that they caught it, way early. I know he starts treatments with chemo this week. I just asked folks just to keep him in your thoughts. Um, Other than that, I'm on to the void.
Well, I really do hope that this child does somehow, some way, shape, or form recovers really, really fast. And they did catch this in time. That's rather unfortunate, but best wishes to that little man.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
For
Yes,
sure.
sir.
And just to start things off, Void, I gotta ask, where'd you come from?
Well, truth be told, back in the 1600s, obviously, if people are lost with history, if you will, especially with the state of Massachusetts, in the late 1600s, there has been known as a thing called the Salem witch trials that took place, and unfortunately, many, many have perished, and it's rather unfortunate. One individual decided to seek revenge for his family was pretty much executed and hung for display, and with it, he conjured me. And unfortunately for him, the price that he paid was his life. So ever since then, I did help him avenge his family and those who have fallen, but I've been here ever since. So my origin, use your imagination with that.
And how did this void come along? I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm scared to death by that mask.
Well, how Void came along into the LFF, it happened just out of, honestly, unfortunate luck for many, but luck for one individual, and that is none other than James DeMello, or as he likes to be called, GM Bighead, because he does have a massive head. And I came across paths with him, and there was so many souls for me to take. And he said, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Let's have a deal. Play this game, and if you enjoy it, everybody gets spared. And if you don't like it, they're all yours. And truth be told, ever since then, I've enjoyed it. So, in other words, you have to thank GM Bighead for pretty much saving a good chunk of people at that given moment in time.
And of course, he's talking about James DeMello. He's a really great guy, and I've
With a
enjoyed
really
seeing
big head.
everything he's.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I sit next to him for his show on Mondays, The Compound, and let me tell you, that giant head of his takes so much of the light. I mean, it's good for me because I hate light, but it's hard to like literally focus. Like I say that word over and over again, because that head just takes so much. I don't even know if you even see me on camera because of how big that head is. Like, I
Yeah,
tell
I
him to
mean, I
zoom
only
out.
heard your voice, so.
I mean, yeah. So literally, I tell him, Jam Big Head, are you sure that we're both in frame and not just you and like a little clip of me because that head is just too massive. I'm
I
sorry.
will I will say I've seen you on there, but it's like cameos. I've seen you talk, but it's like very, it's like the Stan Lee cameos. You're only there
Yeah.
for like 5 seconds,
Yeah.
but
They need
Yeah,
like the Hubble from a distance to get both of you in the same shot.
yeah.
But to segue away from that for a bit, we do have our first question in the chat, and it comes from the phenomenal one, Kirk Polka, and the question is pineapple or sheep?
Well, seeing as he's asking the question, I mean, if you take a look at me, I'm like the kind of individual that would devour sheep. So, uh, just for the sake of that, sheep. I'd go with sheep.
Sounds fair. I mean, solid reasoning. All
Mhm.
right,
looking like I'm
we
ready to
do
win.
have a question from the LFF Tag Team General Manager.
Mm.
So,
and he is also in here.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Mr. Boyd.
Oh, hello, Bombada.
I have two
GM
questions to ask.
Bombada.
Oh, two
Yes,
questions.
thank you, Jeff. Two questions. First one, where do you get the mask made?
Okay. Well,
And then the second, of your three top accolades, winning the Rolling Outlaw Championship, winning your membership ring, and now winning the Tri-State, where do you rank them?
well, the first question, the mask that I have now comes from an individual who is in a metal band that is known as Slaughter to Prevail. They hail from Russia, and the masks that I wear, everybody within the band wears the same mask, whether if it's red, white, black, or sometimes gold, which are really rare to come by. And I spoke with him one time and I said to him, this is what I do, and this is what I look like. I love your music. Can you help me? Lo and behold, I got these masks in the mail via Black Crows, if you will. But normally, the mask that I genuinely wear that is showcased on my competitor comes from an individual known as Mad Mask Man. He hails from Ohio. He handcrafts every single one. He doesn't do it for many, but I reached out to him originally because what my original actual face looks like is very horrid. And I know that the LFF has a lot of children that enjoy this game, so I don't want to scare them away, even though, I mean, looks can be deceiving, and, my looks alone probably does that. But anyway, so as far as the masks go, I mean, if anybody is, daring to reach out to me personally, if you would like to acquire whether one of these masks or the mask that is showcased on my competitor, I will definitely point you in the right direction. But as far as that goes, that's where they come from.
Okay.
Now, as far as my accolades, I've held the rolling title numerous times. Of course, the first time was always, something that I will never forget. However, as time goes on, you hold it more than once, and I mean, nothing could never replace the first time you win a belt of any kind. But the membership ring, though, that's something that I truly hold, somewhat close as far as an achievement because not many have done so. And not only that, with their own competitor. I know that's also a rare occasion as well, and I'm pretty sure that the BOSS has that somewhere stored in the archives where you can actually watch that entire, challenge unfold. And obviously, obtaining that was definitely something that, I will never forget. But if I had to say that me winning the Tri-State off of an individual who was once your friend, Bombada, that is none other than John P., who is probably arguably the best individual that plays and is within the LFF. But to take that from him and pretty much bring him down to earth and show how not, unstoppable he is, because, he is a mere man. I would say winning the Tri-State is number one, because that is my first ever LFF gold that I've ever achieved. My membership ring, just because of the fact that not many people have it, especially obtaining it with their own competitor, would be number two. And then winning the rolling title, I'm not trying to shadow it or, devalue what it is and what it stands for and what it represents, but that would be number three in that order.
All right. As a follow-up to the comment about people reaching out about your mask, would it be safe for them to send the comments to your servant, Brett? That way you don't get directly bothered by them?
Well, I'm pretty sure nobody has gotten the message, but he's been dispatched.
Oh.
So, I do have a, whatever you want to call it, a face page, Facebook, whatever. I don't even know what it's called. I hate technology.
We'll call it whatever you want to.
Okay, well, the stupid Facebook, I personally have a page that I moderate on my own whenever I have the time and when I'm free. So feel free to message me there, if you would like to acquire either one of these masks or my original mask, if you will.
All right. To pivot away from the horrifying conversation of missing people, Evil Ed would like to know if you prefer pickle or cheese.
With meat and dairy products, it kind of doesn't. It's not very settling for me. I just don't understand why. I don't know what they put in that stuff. But a pickle is very natural. I like it. It's bitter. It has a crunch, and I like things that crunch, especially bones. I enjoy chewing on some bones. But I definitely would have to go with pickles. I'm sorry, Pickle Club.
All right. Sounds good.
Pretty much TJ Marconi runs that club, so.
Yeah. Okay. Send all your pickles to TJ Marconi.
Yes.
Kirk Polka would also like another question. If you could make a tag team and a trio with anyone in the LFF who isn't in RCW or under GM Big Head's payroll, who would it be with? AKA a dream team for Void.
Ooh, that's honestly a really, really good question. There has been a run-on joke time and time again that if I was to make a third competitor, would I make a trio of myself of all three Voids? And honestly, the more I hear it, the more I laugh and say, maybe, in the future that would happen. But if I had to choose somebody other than myself, I would definitely to be completely 100% honest, ever since being in the LFF for, a little over a year, I've seen the talent. I've actually have seen who is a great adversary and who is really strong.
Mm-hmm.
And walking into this, I remember, and it was in the mouths of many, Kirk Polka was definitely by far one of the most dominating, champs to ever walk into the squared circle. So if I had to choose somebody for a printed tag, I would definitely consider Kirk Polka, and that's something that I can't ignore. It would be foolish if I was to ignore somebody like that. If I had to have a trio, and let's say if I had to be fair and not pick Kirk Polka twice, I would have to say, the horror, individuals that terrify the LFF. I would have to consider, GPS, a very demented individual that you have no idea what you're going to deal with. And if I had to include a third member, none other than the king of Hollow. Hollow King would be the third individual if I had to include in a trio with myself. I think that right there is just dominating. You know, 3 horrific figures as a trio, and then you have, you know, a demon and the king of sheep, as I like to call it, as a printed tag. I think those two, you know, creations would be like, you know, very dominating, in my opinion.
I mean, anything with the Void's going to be dominating, but yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
So Ken Fouché would like to know, who do you want to defend the Tri-State title against next?
Well, you know, the BOSS, he kind of made it, you know, relatively known. I mean, he was just a highlighter games for Matt Barone's birthday. And he panned out, you know, with his phone, I guess. I don't even know how he did it, but he panned out the room, and there was quite a lot of people in that room. And I think he included himself in that situation. And
He always does.
yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, you know, he's the BOSS. I mean, you know, but he said that everybody in that room was eligible, and that included, you know, both weapons, both Amy and Michael. The Schmidt was on, you know, within that realm, and you know, I mean, no, I mean, like in his name, he has to wait for it, but you know. I mean, I personally would like to defend against anybody. I mean, if I had it my way, I would say, you know what, line them all up. Give me all of them. But, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm at the mercy of GM Little Miss Fury. And I'm pretty sure she has somebody in mind. And I'm going to leave it up to her as to giving me my first, title defense. So, I mean, I can't really say who I would like to face because at the end of the day, I'm at the mercy of the GM.
Yeah, and to not let an opportunity go miss for a Pennsylvania boy, you can always book Roach.
I mean, that is indeed in fact true, but I think Boss was very, very relatively clear that he was giving the first defense and the first shot playing me for the Tri-State title amongst those individuals that were in that room.
Oh, well, yeah, that's usually the way the boss works. He tends to favor the New Jersey, New York players over people outside.
It's favoritism, and I don't like it, but,
so,
you know.
Yeah, but eventually one of the PA guys will take a shot, and, well, I hope it's not me because I don't like anyone's chances up against Void. So.
I do like what you said, though, with, whoever you face next, if you could face all of them, line them up. I love a fighting champion, and that's one way to be. I like that.
Yeah, because, well, you know, when you told me that there was 13 people, and I mean, I know the record for defenses for the Tri-State title is it's staggering, and it's high. And, you know, if I was to go and say, you know what, just give me all of them, line them all up, you know, at the end of the day, you know, that's 13 defenses in one day, you know, and I'm pretty sure everybody is all for shooting and breaking records as far as title defenses and you know, but at the same time, you know, if I was to run what you know, Domella would like to call a gauntlet, if you will, I would make it known that if one of those individuals that were amongst the 13 were to defeat me, they would inherit the remaining people of the gauntlet until there was nobody left. But, you know, everybody has a time schedule, everybody's busy. I mean, I'm always busy, especially at night. So, you know, whether if it's one at a time, I will do everything to go through all 13 people.
All right. Evil Ed would like to know what's next for the Void.
Well, I'm pretty sure Evil Ed knows because he is, you know, GM Domella's right-hand man, and I'm GM Domella's left-hand man if I want to be technical.
The Sinister side.
Yes, the Sinister side. You know, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
In RCW, I've achieved, a lot of things within my tender. The one thing I have not achieved yet is winning the most prestigious title that RCW has, and that is the heavyweight title. So within the RCW, I would love to achieve that. But outside of RCW as the promotion, if I had to, go big or go home, it would have to be the LFF World Heavyweight title. I mean, that's a no-brainer. That's literally the creme de la creme of achievements. And I'm pretty sure, we have, Bombada. He was the heavyweight champion, and I'm pretty sure he enjoyed every minute of it. And that's definitely at that point, when you achieve that title, you're at the top of the mountain. Of course, you have all eyes on you, and that's understandable. But I would say obtaining the heavyweight title both within RCW and within the LFF are my next goals.
All right. The man who is trying to redeem the name Grim, the Grim Librarian, Ken Fushi, has a question to change subjects a bit. When eating souls, do you pair those with white wine or red?
Ooh. Well, white wine, white wine is, not for everybody. I mean, for the most part, a lot of people like white wine, and I don't know why. To me, the redder the better. It just complements everything.
Good blood wine. Alright, Dustin, that's it for the Twitch for now. If you have questions to go back to.
It's, we were going back to, Void's origin and stuff like that. And, you came into the SRG and, your competitor came out and everything. And, how did it feel to actually step into the ring?
Well, it was always a goal. I'm pretty sure it's a goal for everybody to create themselves and to literally slap their competitor down and literally roll tens against everybody else. And to have that capability now is just something that it's like, not only I'm enjoying it from my personal aspect, but I'm pretty much attacking you just in a physical sense, but also within, the game at the same time. So, a lot of people say that, when they saw the competitor that just came out, because obviously there's a void that came out back during PAX 2020 that's long gone and hard to come by, but this new competitor had everybody's jaws dropping and go, what is that? And, I'm a very, mystical individual. I have a lot of powers at my disposal, little do people know. So to have that ability to not only put a competitor to sleep with my own competitor, it just makes a match using myself a little bit more personal.
Now, with your first one that came out was really good as well. I'm not gonna knock either one of them. I love both of them. I think they're really great competitors. Was both of their gimmicks kind of like a style that you liked, or was it just you made your first one and did you just think of a different style?
Well, the with my first competitor, and actually with both competitors, to be completely honest, I observed what existed and what's been out of print, what used to exist, and I said, I want to bring something new, something different. And the people that have played me, and when I use my competitor, they will tell you it's a cinematic match. What you see is what you get. And with my first competitor, it kind of puts a person on edge. And, my submission finish was literally, a Gargano escape or Circle of the Sun with bonuses, which was like really unheard of and terrifying to just envision. And not everybody likes those those two finishers. Everybody hates them, especially Circle of the Sun. They see that, hit the table, and they go, nope, that's not hitting. I don't care. I will waste a follow-away slam early just to not deal with that. And, to give that fear factor out of people was entertaining. And with my second competitor, a lot of people speculated, why did Void release another competitor? Oh, he probably didn't like his first one. No. I thoroughly enjoyed my first competitor. And with time, with me devouring people and consuming souls, I got stronger. So therefore, I'm capable of other things. And, my second competitor was pretty much a giant leap in an evolution. And my new submission finish, if you've paid attention, has the same almost randomization of getting a finisher back, just like my first competitor. So in a way, you could see the transition of what my first competitor did to now. It's not like I completely disbanded and want make people to forget my first competitor entirely and what it was capable of. And, just the finishers, the fact that the new Void can use all 6 finishers, both old and new, just really makes a person wonder, what are they going to deal with? What are they going to see? So, I really truly appreciate those who have both competitors, because that really does mean a lot to me. But, I genuinely feel that as time goes on, if I decide to create a third one, because, a lot of people that create content for this game, they like to create multiple things. And if I had to create a third Void, all I gotta say is, you all better watch out.
I like that too, because I know, with myself, I made 2 characters, and it's not that I wanted to forget the first one. It's just the reason I asked you that, the new style that you made with this new one, is because I wanted to make something that was totally a different style of playing. Like I had to adapt to this one. Like when I play as the TAG or the GPS, I've got 2 different mindsets there. I'm not talking in character or personality character, but the decks, deck wise, you have to different way of thinking. So I like your answer on that.
Right.
Yeah, because both competitors are in fact different.
All right. We have another question from the LFF Tag Team GM. So let's see.
First off, I just have a comment. I don't know what you're talking about, Void. About people making multiple things. I'm clueless on that.
I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what things you're talking about. I never created anything this game.
Shaggy Shark. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
Outside of your own 2 competitors, who are the other competitors you like to play in this game?
Well, I know just about almost everybody has a palette of competitors that they like to go for and like to use. And that's just based on comfortability or availability or whatever, an individual can get their hands on. And my very first competitor, believe it or not, playing this was Rob Graves. And the reason why it was Rob Graves is because, truth be told, in actual promotional wrestling, that exists on television, there's a lot of talents that a lot of people appreciate and appraise and, respect for their talent and athleticism. And, there's a lot of talent and a lot of actual professional wrestlers that I actually idolize and fully respect. And to me, Rob Graves reminded me a lot of my top favorite pro wrestler, and that is the Dead Man, the Undertaker. Just because of the simple fact that the resemblance was just almost uncanny, if you will. And, you know, Rob was pretty much my beginning. And as time went on, you know, my library of competitors that I have stored away has expanded at a great, you know, vast amount in relatively, at a, you know, in short time. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of RCW proper will say that Void just has a lot of competitors, and you have no idea what he's going to come and show up with. You have no idea. It could be an independent. It could be something new. It could be something old. You know, I genuinely have, you know, obviously I have my favorites. You know, like, for example, the Tri-State title. I went with Candice LeRae. And that's, you know, that's a competitor that not many people prep for or expect. And, you know, I have my favorites. I enjoy using Hollow King. I actually have GPS set aside that I have at the ready to throw at people. I like using Magnificent Ray. He's, you know, very different and unique. And, you know, and if I had to, like, even go back to, like, the, you know, old school competitors, and what I mean by old school, like Ombre, Rising Sun, Snake Pit, even though I hate Snake Pit. But if I had to go to those competitors, you know, I love Ombre, and I love, you know, the Rising Sun. Like, those two competitors, and to even, you know, continue with that, I went at Chris Pate with El Super Sons, just to give you an idea. So I thoroughly enjoy using just about almost everything, with the exception of, you know, Snake Pit. I hate Snake Pit. And I'm not trying to, you know, throw jabs at Calais, because he loves that thing. I don't, but
I would. I'd throw jabs.
well, you know, Calais is pretty terrified of me, and because I targeted him at one point in time. But, you know, I thoroughly enjoy any competitor that I deem that I feel like I can, you know, get behind and, you know, throw dice with. You know, I don't have like a small number that some people have, whether if it's 3 competitors or 5 that they like to use all the time. I like to use anything. You know, if I find like, hey, I want to be, you know, different and use Grande Gallo, I'll use Grande Gallo, which I've done, you know, just to be funny. But, you know, you have no idea what I'm going to come up with.
You know, we used to talk back, you know, down here playgroup wise. We used to say all the time, you know, who are some of the competitors that, you know, people consider bad, and we would just try to build them good, just to try to show that, you know, they were worth something. And I like your answer there too. It seems like we're kind of real similar. It seems like, but I like those characters that people, you know, that forget about or don't think much about, and then next thing you know, you pop up and you show them how good it is, and that feeling that you get when you know that you're playing a good, you know, competitor that people overlook sometimes. And it happens. There's over, you know, I think going on 300 competitors now, and it's just, you know, it's real easy to overlook.
Oh yes, and then you know, at one point I randomly threw the Executioner out, and there's been a lot of additions to RCW, and when I threw that out, they the first question I got was, what does it do? You know, and I like getting that as a question, because, you know, a lot of people don't know, you know, a lot of these competitors, and, and they don't know the existence. And that's something that I pretty much, I'm like an advocate for RCW. I like to expose RCW proper to everything. It's like that when they go to these big events, whether if it's Gen Con or, you know, PAX, you know, Unplugged, or anything for that matter, where, you know, once this nonsense pandemic, you know, disappears, they know what to expect. You know, there's no stone left unturned. So like that, when they walk in and they sit across for example, like a Kenny Omega, they know what it does.
Yeah.
When they sit
automatically.
across like anything that they've never seen before, they know what it does. And for a while, a lot of RCW proper didn't even know that AJ Styles is a competitor. And unfortunately I had to give a lot of punishment with that one, and tell them even this exists. So you gotta watch out. So, my choice of competitors, it's random. You have no idea when I'm gonna use.
Alright, well, the LFF Intergalactic Champion has a question for you. And it's, when will the Void and Everybody be a tag team competitor? Brother and brother in arms.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but I've known Everybody for 15 years of my life and 15 years of his. I've been on this, I've been on the earth longer than probably most people. And, a lot of people have reached out to me to do some sort of printed tag or some sort of, collaboration, if you will, hand in hand. And I have a lot of personal goals that I would like to check off my list first. And once I get those completed, and, after winning the Tri-State, that list has, gotten smaller and smaller. Once I'm done, I'm open to collaborating with anybody, whether if it's Everybody and him and we make a printed tag, or if, for, example, you and I, Jeff Foxworthy, want to do something, I have my task list that I would like to, achieve first. And then when I'm done, at that point, I'm fair game for anything, really. Because how I look at it, if you want to do something with me, we have some sort of similarity goal. We see eye to eye with something.
Yeah.
And for you to reach out to me, that must mean that what I see, you see as well. So that actually, that means a lot.
Solid. Alright. People are saying that to give Clace a nice freight hook. When you were talking about beating Clace up. Though, if you win enough matches in the Tri-State title, I know he will become one of the competitors. I think you have to win, 17, I believe? And he'll name himself the challenger.
Yeah, I honestly feel that, if I was like one victory away from beating his record, I have, without any doubt, as much as, Clace would, like to avoid coming my way,
Mm-hmm.
he would be, shakingly, like, knocking on my door, like, I really don't want to do this, but I really don't want him to break my record, and knock on my door. And I, that's something that I would expect. I have, there's no doubt in my mind that if his record was at stake, he would do everything in his GM power to make sure that does not happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and they have the tools of that, the puppet version of the GM that Kid Thunder can use to mesmerize him, so that might even help him.
Yeah,
help him get over his fear.
I mean, it was for a while, Clace kind of, avoided me because he thought that I was just a nobody. And it was until I actually was within feet, face to face with Clace. And let me tell you, I smiled cheek to cheek to see such a powerful, successful man literally tremble in his suit.
Yeah, well, when you're someone who makes a deal with the devil, you never want to be around when the devil comes due.
No.
So, I can understand where his fear comes from.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dustin, so back to your questions.
I was gonna Excuse me. Sorry, coughing. What I was gonna say is, futuristic wise, which you've went through earlier with your goals and stuff like that. What are some things event wise that you're looking forward to?
Well, I know that, sometime this month, I want to say it's about a few days away. Uh, FreeCon 2020, that's being hosted and, hand in hand with GM Big Head and BOSS, where, if I remember, if my memory serves me correct, there's about 45 people that are lined up, ready to go. And I know that the cap is 64. And if by somehow, some way, if we achieve 64, and there's people that are knocking on the door that want to come in, hopefully we get to that, and the cap expands, that'd be really awesome. But I know that this event is unlike most events where it's play it pure. No entrances, no spectacles, no skill cards. You have to have a competitor with printed finishers, no generic finishers allowed. And I honestly feel like this sets the bar to actually show your talent in deck building. Because a lot of people get comfortable with those skill cards. A lot of people rely on those entrances to get like that edge and advantage on their opponent. And a lot of people like to use those, entrances to spectacles that are like crutches, if you will. So it completely throws all of that out the window. And I'm really excited to see what people bring to the table. I mean, I know you're going to see a lot of, people using the same stuff, which is, unavoidable. But I'm really looking forward to that event. I myself, I'm participating in that event. I'm one of the 45 that are ready and lined up. So that's one event that I'm really looking forward to. And obviously, we have faction wars going on, and it's RCW going against Crime Wave, or GM Big Head likes to call Crime Puddle. I mean, I don't know why he calls it Crime Puddle, but
I usually just call them crime, like,
Yeah.
like I just call them the ripples.
I think the
that's
name
all they
now
make.
is Big Match Pete and 5 Jobbers. I think that's the
Wow.
official team name now.
yeah, but
I would just say big jobbers.
Well, I mean, let's give Pete some credit.
but faction wars is definitely something that it goes to show what kind of faction from promotion, essentially put them on the map to tell everybody, like, this particular faction from this particular promotion is a force to be reckoned with. And I know in this round it's your printed 10 versus the opposing printed 10 of a particular skill. And lo and behold, believe it or not, my match for this round, I'm up against the BOSS. And I'm using Matt Riddle. I got I chose that simply because that's a competitor not many people see.
Hmm.
And from what I've been told, BOSS uses Scarlet Graves, which is a competitor that a lot of people know of and a lot of people don't like. So I'm really looking forward to that match with him, and hopefully I can achieve two points for RCW and get that those captain points, because I know those are highly valuable. And I know there's a lot of events that are to be determined and to be announced, and hopefully, if willing, if I have the availability, I join them and participate in them.
All right. First, I want to break in and thank Evil Ed for the gifting the sub to the Candyman, who also has a question. So, the future Dark Web champion, Candyman, has a question for you, and it's, what's your favorite kind of soul to eat?
Well, to me, souls are. Well, if I had to compare it, souls are like candy. Souls are souls at the end of the day. And I'm pretty sure that the Candy Man and the Candy Man would say the same thing. Candy is candy. So, There's no preference to me. A soul is a soul.
All right. I mean, so like a soul of a chicken is the same as like the small soul of VHS1 Brian Schmidt.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Schmidt is a chicken. Okay, I get it.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Wow.
No, I can't put Kentucky on that. Never mind.
Yeah. All right. The tag team general manager has another question.
I don't have it's actually not another question. It's just to correct Jeff on something. Her actual name is the sweet and perfect assistant to the LFF tag team general manager, the Candy Man.
I mean, I just shorted it to future Dark Web champion. It's a lot easier. No, that's
And
worse.
future Dark Web champion.
Yeah.
But well, she's going to be in the finals against Chris Bay, because that's who I picked for it. So whoever wins with that, may the best person win.
Yeah, which will be Angela.
Yes.
Anyway.
I second that. Anyway.
Correcting me about titles. Yeah, I forgot she is the
No
assistant.
favoritism.
I mean, like the whole Dark Web's favoritism, since we get to pick people, and I'm sure more people would pick Void if they weren't scared of him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but you know that's impossible. I have to intimidate people. It's within my nature.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, there's just people talk about complimenting. Well, Mrs. Living Weapon, you've gotten a lot of compliments from people for being your tri-state title run, and who knows, you were in the room. You may be do a rematch at some time to try to get that title back. I'm sure the Void would be willing
Watch out for that
to face it.
win.
I mean, I heard all about that, and you know that is a possibility. That can happen. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. It's always great to see it happen too. It's one of those things you gotta love about the game is those surprising endings.
Mm-hmm.
Unless of course you're the one that happened to you. But yeah,
Yeah.
to be fair. Yeah. All right, Dustin, back to you.
Alrighty.
Yeah, we got about 12 minutes left in the show.
And also, you know, you were talking earlier. You do that show with DeMello, and what's been some of the fun times you've had on that show?
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of funny moments. You know, when I was first doing the show with DeMello and RCW, my entrances were different. Lights would go out. Evil Ed and GM Big Head, they would leave. They would disappear essentially, and lights would go back on, and I would be right there, right in the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like that for a while. And you know, those are memories that I wish that at some point in time would like to recreate, because it was very thematic. There's been a lot of botches, if you will, with technical issues, because GM Big Head, he doesn't really plan ahead with anything. He's kind of like a on the fly individual, and we've had some funny moments and some great matches, and due to this pandemic, it cripples all of that, because RCW and the Compound was like a very synergetic show, and there was a lot of key factors, and with the traveling restrictions and room restrictions for capacity, it hinders that, and it pretty much almost cripples it in a way. And I hope that at some future time we could recreate those proper beginning moments, and revise them and make more of them, but time will only tell, and it's unfortunate.
I was gonna say, you were talking about botches. At least you can go through like a wall.
I mean, yeah. There's been quite a few like botches, and and that's rolls aside, because rolling fives in the Compound, it's they exist, they exist quite a lot, but we've had we've had our botches here and there, whether if it's cutting promos and doing dialogue, going through show notes. There's been so many typos in show notes, and as of late, I've been doing the show with GM DeMello, and I'd be going through the notes, and I'd look at him, and I'd nudge him and say, "Hey, you spelt that wrong," and he'd go, "Yeah, don't worry about it." And I'll tell him, that I'm gonna mention that even when we go live, right? That you don't know how to type, you don't know how to spell because English is hard, But botches happen, and that's what makes shows funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, Bada wanted to comment a question about pineapples or coconuts. And then we have a few more Twitch questions after that.
Well, now we're just on to food. Pineapples and coconuts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I will say this right now: pineapple does not go on pizza. That's disgusting. Like,
Okay.
Whoever thought of that?
Yeah, neither should coconuts.
I mean, same with coconuts. Coconuts don't belong on pizza anyway. But pineapples and coconuts, they go hand in hand. But with a coconut, they kind of hit harder than a pineapple.
Yeah, that's fair. And I'm a big fan of having a nice set of coconuts. So the Grim Librarian would like to know if there's any chance you're going to do a photo shoot with a belt like the Mrs. Living Weapon did.
Oh, that's without hesitation, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know that Mrs. Living Weapon, she got actually some. Not only she did like a photo shoot and yelled at geese.
Yeah.
Holding that tri-state.
Yeah, and we hear the souls of geese taste like Schmidt.
I mean, hey, I when I come across a goose, I will definitely. We'll see if there is some sort of similarity, but I know that she got some sort of artwork done with her holding the tri-state title, and that's very awesome because that truly immortalizes that moment.
Yeah.
And me doing a photo shoot with the tri-state is indeed in fact going to happen when it comes my way. My crows are taking forever with that. But I would like to get some artwork done myself.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really awesome to not only have it but in photo but in artwork to have that memory immortalized. That's something that I'm gonna have to get a hold of the BLSS on. So yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. Yeah.
All right, and then the Phenomenal One would like to know what's your favorite stipulation in the game, and is there one you would like to see that isn't in the game?
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of stipulations that I've been through. And obviously, there's a lot of them. A lot of people like to prefer matches that kind of take a toll on the brain, if you will. Submission matches take forever at times.
Mm-hmm.
Liger's Den matches, that's another one that I know is a favorite. Cage matches are indeed, in fact, again, another thing that's a favorite amongst people. Variations of TLC matches exist. Obviously, you have Claim the Throne as well. But out of all the stipulation matches that I personally have been through, a favorite of mine, honestly, would have to be a TLC match. Those are just out of the park because you have no idea what you're gonna come across. You might come across a TLC finish, or you might see a set up the ladder, set up the table. You have no idea what you're gonna see. You might see an individual sacrifice some stops just to get those ladder, table, and chain cards out. It's a high risk, high reward kind of match, and it's very fast paced. The one match that I honestly don't like is main event matches, because those matches just take forever.
I mean, Like I saw one not that long ago for a CAC that ended at crowd meter 0 with a 12. It's pretty.
I mean, yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
I mean, yeah, that is pretty impressive. I mean, main event matches and like, those matches, those can take time. Another match that I genuinely feel that takes a long time is Last Competitor Standing. That's probably by far the most lengthy type of stipulation match that anybody could ever have.
Yeah.
And I've been in one, and only one, and it didn't go in my favor because I need my finishers to do my dirty work. And
Yeah.
last competitor standing matches, those matches, be expected to like skip a meal, if you will, because those matches take generally around an hour, it seems.
Yeah.
For me, it took maybe 5 minutes. I did my first one like the other day in the Online League, and he wrote a 10 in like 10 rows, no crowd meter.
Ah,
I couldn't even roll a 10.
All right.
jeez.
Alright, so we got a few minutes left, and so a couple questions is Hold the Line Harry would like to know: would you ever be a guest host on the dojo?
I mean, there's been a lot of individuals that co-host on the dojo, and I know the BLSS, and his faction is the Crime Wave, and my GM doesn't like Crime Wave, but with all that aside, the BLSS is the BLSS. At the end of the day, I mean, he pretty much signs everybody's paycheck. If I had to be like somewhat correct, if you will.
Wait, people get paid for this?
I mean, if I had to put it in like
I mean,
layman's terms,
I just get handed a beard and told to fight.
I mean,
a resume.
I mean, you know what I mean.
I have to talk to my lawyers.
I'm just kidding.
But if I had to like co-host on the dojo with the BLSS, I respect the boss. Him and I, we've had many sit downs, and when he first met me, he said, "Void, I need you in the LFF. I want you in the LFF." And we've had many discussions, and that came to light. And I've had many great moments with the boss, especially when I earned my membership ring. And that would be definitely something I would like to do, co-hosting on the dojo, if my availability permits it. Because I'm a very busy individual at night. That's when I like to do my roaming around and terrifying people. That's usually when I'm busy.
Yeah, I mean, that's better than what I do at night, which is just wear sunglasses. But so the superior living weapon, Amy would like to know if you're going to be in FreeCon, and if you win, will you make Void 3?
Well, as I mentioned before, yes, I am participating in FreeCon. And if I win FreeCon, the prize of creating a competitor, it means a lot to a lot of people. And, some people pay it forward, especially if they have a competitor already made for themselves, to give it to someone who, is, unfortunate to have that ability. A lot of people that know me on a personal level know that one of the halves as to why, I exist entirely, even though I am, a demon of sorts. She tragically does no longer roam this earth anymore. And if I win FreeCon, I will be creating Mama Void and put her in the LFF if I was to win FreeCon.
That'll be awesome. Alright, that's a hard one to come up with. So, the segue into something a little less heavy. Candy Ma'am would like to know if you could live in any other country, which one would it be?
Ooh. I have a great appreciation for music. my 328 years being roaming on this earth, I have a great appreciation for music, and it's pretty vast. And there's one particular kind of music that has a very evil and dark origin, and it comes from a country in Europe that is Norway. And at one point in time, there were some really demented individuals that like to dabble with dark things. And, you know, there's a lot of dark history with that country. And at the same token, there's a lot of beautiful aspects of that country. A lot of wooded areas, very naturistic, if you will. And I'm in tune with nature. And as a matter of fact, when I roam at night, I roam through the woods because that's something I thoroughly enjoy. If I had to pick a spot and location to live, it would be Norway.
All right. Well, it is 7:30, so we should probably wrap this up and address the few things you wanted to address, Dustin.
Alrighty, folks. Before we have this raffle, I was wanting to go over. I've got an event going on this Sunday. This event is the True American Guys Make a Kid's Christmas, and the reason I've got that title is half the proceeds is going to go towards my bike group down here that we help, abused and neglected children down here. And a lot of them, children stuff, they're not going to get anything really for Christmas. And we try to help and, spread cheer and help those that, that could use it. And some of the proceeds from that tournament going on this Sunday is going to help us. I think we've got over 27 children down here that we're currently helping. And we could use a little help and, spread a little cheer. And also, the winner of this tournament is also going to get a United States Championship shot. FYI, this belt is currently getting made, which I paid for about a month or two ago. They have talked to Steve, and pretty much he showed me a picture. I've got the plates and everything made, and this belt's going to be really sharp. And the winner of that's also going to get a tile shot. And not only that, it's for a great cause. And I think a lot of times our priorities, our number one is the future. And kids, generation-wise, they are the future. And nothing like to spread a little cheer. And I'd love to have you. Me and Jeffrey Fox here are going to be co-hosting it, and we'll be commentating.
Yeah.
We'll be with y'all every step of the way.
Yeah, which will be a lot of fun. Speaking of fun, we probably should do the raffle.
Yeah.
Alright, so let me close them off. And I guess we should raffle off the foil first, because people love foils.
Oh, yes.
So,
First one I've got is, I'm going to try not to botch this one. Earlier I said loaded goat punch, because everybody talks about goats in here.
Well, they talk about sheep, and sheep and goats are different.
Sheep, same thing.
I mean, if you would have said loaded lamb punch, I mean, like...
Yeah, that would be totally different, yeah.
Totally different. But the winner of that,
gut punch.
of the loaded gut punch is VHS 101, the host of the dojo tonight. And the winner of the Bobby Ohio competitor set is the phenomenal one, Kirk Volka. Speaking of a goat, a sheep.
What is it, Jeff?
Oh, no, they're just booing Schmidt for winning. So.
Well, he deserves a little something. You called him a chicken, and
I mean, we equated him to a chicken. His soul's the same as a chicken. I mean, that's not really me calling him a chicken. I mean,
if you call it a chicken is chicken. I'm from Kentucky. Don't Don't sugarcoat it.
No. You use, normally you use like breadcrumbs or cornflake. I mean, wait.
Yeah.
Anyway, you haven't eaten yet, so I probably should stop giving
Yeah.
fried chicken directions. Just remember though, when you do eat dinner, it'll taste like Schmidt. Anyway, with that, I think we should sign off because this is getting wacky.
Boyd, it was good having you,
Yep.
and tell Brett that I said, what's up and everything,
I mean,
wherever he is.
I guess Boyd can talk to the dead, so I guess that's useful.
I
Because-
mean,
He's already
there's
just said he
something-
murdered him.
yeah, there's something that Brett had on his person that I completely forgot all about,
Oh.
and I think he took it with him,
Oh.
and I kind of need it back. So I'm gonna be visiting him in the eternal, world, because I'll tell him, hey, you can have your glasses because I don't need them. Give me what I need, So I'll be seeing him shortly.
Hey man, just remember, you should let him out, get some air. Even Persephone got some time out of the underworld. Like, everyone deserves a little vacation.
No.
All right. So with that, Dustin, any final
Hey,
words?
I was happy to have you on here today, man. I was looking forward to this. Your character just came out, and of course, you and DeMello are holding it up north, and I appreciate all y'all do. And I was really looking forward to having you on here. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, and I truly appreciate having the time to be a part of this, and I'd like to thank Jeff Foxworthy as well for the two of you. I are doing a great job with these shows, getting to know individuals that are within the LFF or professional wrestlers at times. Those are really a nice treat, and you get to pretty much get an outside looking in perspective with a lot of individuals that you have on here. So this is like a great platform to have, and I really do appreciate reaching out to me.
All right. Well,
Hey, no problem,
thank you
buddy.
for
I appreciate it.
that. All right, and with that, we will see you all Sunday and next week. So
And also, I wanted to
later.
say thanks to Steve. I've got
Oh.
new technology,
Yeah,
new microphone and everything, so I appreciate that.
a beautiful Yeti. All right, so thank you all for watching. Thank you for coming on the show, Void.
And as always, till next time.
Until next
Till
time.
next time.